First of all, happy Earth Day, everyone. April 22nd. Before I start diving into budgetary details and comparing the Green Party of Canada platform and budget to those of the Liberals, New Democrats, and today, last minute surprise, Pierre Poilievre has released his platform and budget numbers. I wanted to review something that's, I think, quite significant, and that is that over the decades, the Green Party of Canada has been the first to promote and propose some really transformative changes, some important ideas, and we have never minded when other parties take our ideas. So the purpose of today's press conference is to address Mr. Carney, in particular, Prime Minister Carney, Mr. Poilievre, Leader of Official Opposition, Mr. Singh, Mr. Blanchet, and all Canadians, to say it's time again for some of the other parties to take our ideas. We're offering them to you on a silver plate. Now, just to review some of the things that we have said in the past that you'll find in the platforms of the other parties now, we were the first party to call for the significance of an east-west electricity grid that actually functions. You find now that Mr. Carney saying we need this really important energy corridor. You could also have found it in our 2019 climate plans, that without a functioning east-west, north-south electricity grid, you really can't get to the carbon neutrality that Canada has committed to over the years. And it's a fantastic idea, and it goes back to that fundamental point that underscores and underlines our platforms since 2015, that Canada has to act like a country. And to do that, we have to think like a country. We've never before seen such a focus on the problem of the non-collaborative nature between the different orders of government as we have since the Trump tariff threats. We're now seeing everybody, regardless of where they are on the political spectrum, saying it's time to end interprovincial trade barriers. It's time to get interprovincial cooperation. Nowhere is that more critical than in our electricity grid. So again, that's been Green Party platform from at least 2019, 6 years, and we're glad other parties are catching up with us. Another one that was in our 2015 platform, and we were the first party to promote this, is national pharmacare, universal single-payer pharmacare. We're the only country that has a universal health care program that doesn't have pharmacare. Now, I know the NDP will say, well, that was Tommy Douglas's idea. And yes, Tommy Douglas is a hero, and much revered by, I think, most Canadians for what he did for this country. But it had been a very long time, and in fact, we were the first party to put universal pharmacare in our platform back in 2015, based on the study done by a number of academics across Canada, including Steve Morgan at UBC, called Pharmacare 2020. That's how long ago it was, when 2020 was still ahead of us. We also were the first party to call for a wealth tax. It was in our 2019 platform. And again, we were the first party in this election to have studies about our costings placed on the PBO website. Now, once something is posted on the Parliamentary Budget Office website, it's in the public domain and anyone can use it. So our wealth tax numbers were published on April 9th. The NDP platform came out after that, and in debates locally where my NDP opponent says, we're the only party calling for a wealth tax, we say, yeah, well, no. And also we posted it publicly first. When we're looking at other issues over time, where we have been the first and now it's accepted as normal Canadian policy, we were the first party to call for equal marriage. We were the first party to call for legalizing cannabis. We remain, as far as I know, the only party calling for a guaranteed livable income. We are the first party to call for a green tax shift, taking taxes off things we want, like income, and putting it on pollution. As I said to Stéphane Dion over at the time, if you're going to take our ideas, that's okay, but please don't mess them up. Please know how to communicate them. So we've now seen all the efforts to include carbon pricing in climate policy essentially renounced by all parties in this election other than the Greens. Now, when we look at the things we've advocated in the past that are now accepted within Canada, we now ask again, please look at our platform. Please look at our budget and look at it carefully.
This is the worst.
I want to highlight a few of the things that would really help Mark Carney's budget balance sooner and without taking shots, because what's really important, I think we're still Team Canada. I don't want to take any unfair shots at anyone.
What?
I do want to highlight that the Parliamentary Budget Office does extraordinary work. Today, for the first time, a number of studies from PBO asked for by the Conservatives have been posted. As far as I can see, none of them justify the effort the Conservatives have made today to say that their cuts in spending and various tax changes will result in $21 billion of new tax revenue by 2028, 2029. That's reported by the Globe and Mail as the Conservatives are betting on increased tax revenue of $21 billion a year by 2028, 2029. There are a number of changes that they've made, yes, and the number of changes were reviewed by PBO, but at least at this point, looking at the PBO website, we can't find that conclusion of the Conservatives is other than their internal hunch that will create that kind of benefit.